the 2014 varsity baseball team. And I even wrote all my stuff this year instead of winging it because I didn't want to ramble.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The 2014 varsity baseball team. I have coached baseball for 18 years. Every team that I have coached has its own identity and its own personality. Every team has its strengths and its flaws. Some teams need to be pushed, some teams need to be challenged. Those are very difficult teams to coach. I never had to push or challenge this year's team. They became the 2014 PCL champions in the summer of 2013. That is when I first saw that we had something special brewing. To my credit, and to my coaching staff's credit, I realized then that all that we had to do was get out of their way. Yes, we faced plenty of adversity, every team does, but how they bounced back from every stumble was no surprise to me. They are an extraordinary group of young men. I would like to start by thanking the first member of our varsity baseball team, our bat boy, Justin Goldstein. We have had some great bat boys in our. We've had some great bat boys in our history here, going way back to 2008. Our bat boys Ryan Lavelle and Jake Hazard was our bat boy at Angel Stadium in 2009. Ryan was our bat boy again in 2011 at Dodger Stadium, and the best bat boy of them all is sitting right here. He's a kid, he's great to have around, the kids love him, very mature for his age. I assume he's going to go to Beckman. I don't want to get accused of illegally recruiting him, but I don't think we'll let him go anywhere else. He's a great baseball player himself, but just a real neat kid to have around. And the boys love having you out there, Justin. Thank you for all that you do. I would next like to thank my coaches, my coaching staff, Dave Goldstein, Coach Phillips, who you saw earlier, Coach Beer, and Coach Osmaldonado. Please stand up. This is without a doubt the best coaching staff that I've ever had here. Most cohesive group of guys to work with. They all knew their responsibilities, they all knew their roles, and they all get along great with the kids. And they all bring something different to the table. And you work with the guy on a daily basis, and you see him every single day, and then the season ends, and you realize, I realize at least, that as their friend, hopefully, and as their as a fellow coach, that I don't say thank you enough for what they do. And I know they don't expect me to, at least I don't think you guys walk the parking lot cursing my name like that son of a, well, he never thanks us. But hope you guys know that you see it hopefully in my eyes the way I feel about you guys. You do a great job, and I appreciate everything you do for me and for the boys. Thank you very much, coaches. Okay. This is the good part of the banquet. I know it's been riveting so far, but trust me, it gets even better. The senior class of 2014. Like I said earlier, every team has its own character. This year's team was an embodiment of the 2014 senior class. I remember the summer of 2010 when I had most of you in my incoming freshman camp. It seems like so long ago, but it also seems like yesterday. The plain truth is, I'm not ready for you guys to leave yet. One of the things that makes you so unique is that there are so many big personalities in your class. But at the same time, you guys all fit perfectly together. It is a strange phenomenon, like a perfect blend of spazzes and mellow guys. A perfect calm storm. And altogether, you guys are like a thunderstorm in July, where you go, what is going on here? This is pretty cool. I love being your coach. You gave me everything you had to give. And the truth is, I knew we were going to win league. And you knew it too. As soon as the guys from Woodbridge started tweeting about how good they were, I knew that it was over. Because I saw in your eyes a look of, oh no, Woodbridge, you shouldn't have done that. Now we're going to have to dogpile in front of you. And we did. There was a day in mid-March where my team was having a pretty mediocre practice, kind of just going through the motions. And I lost it. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I do. I took you guys down to the left field foul pole, and if you've ever played baseball, you know that it's always bad when a coach takes you to the left field foul pole. Coach Goldstein said that he knew it was coming when I was just watching the drill continue without saying a word. I told you guys that I knew that my observation was correct because I saw Coach Phillips get up and walk to the dugout and take a seat. When we were down in the corner, I asked each and every one of you to give me a trait of a great baseball player. Your answers were good, hardworking, dedicated, trustworthy, confident. Then I gave you guys a speech about how when you put all of those words together, that is the standard that you guys have set for yourselves. We went back to practice, and things got a lot better. At the end of practice, I asked you guys another question. I asked you, what am I, your coach, asking you to be? Jack Weiss said hardworking. Michael Hansen said dedicated. Ryan Carpenter said tough. Tyler Gertz said, and the answers continued like that. And I was getting frustrated. Then Dallas said, Dallas Day said, Coach, you are asking us to be Beckman baseball players. I don't think I have ever felt more pride than I felt at that moment. These seniors are Beckman baseball players. They leave such a legacy behind them. The standards that they have set will be here forever. To all the underclassmen in this room, I cannot ask you to do more than these guys did. But over the course of your careers here, if you ever want to know what it takes, just remember these guys, because they are indeed the embodiment of a Beckman baseball player. This is the class of 2014. We'll start with my senior manager, Blake Crandall. You guys know Blake from his exploits on the gridiron. Blake, I believe, is going to continue playing football at Chapman University, correct? Blake Crandall played baseball here for 2 years and decided to focus on football. And I was very happy for you when you did that, Blake. Very sad for myself and for your teammates. And then sometime around March of this year, Blake came to me and he said, Coach, I just want to get back out there and help in any way I can. And to be honest with you, Blake, we were missing something until you came back. Thank you for being a part of it all, and I will always remember you dancing on the back of the bus. And I tried. We had one bus driver in this district. I don't even know the guy. Does anybody know his name? But we know him when we see him, because he really has a lot of personality, and he plays like all the good music on our way home from Roadwinds. And I tried to get some video of Blake doing it, but he's way back there. Blake can really dance. He kind of said he made our bus rides a lot of fun. Blake Crandall. Our next two seniors are two girls who are very important to me. Eden Platero and Erica Fisher coming up. Eden and Erica have, they were I call them Pat girls. They were our Pat girls this last season. They're my fourth period teacher's assistants in my world history class, and they're just great kids. I'm friends with all the guys, and really what they do and what they give to us and what they give to the team is they're just an incredibly calming influence in the dugout. If you've ever been in a dugout, it can get pretty intense in there. I kind of have an alter ego or a different personality when I go into games. And whenever I kind of slipped into that personality, I would turn around. And there's a couple times this season that it's actually happened. I would turn around and I'd look, and Erica was there. And she just said, "Lavelle, relax." And it made it a lot easier. And it's just kind of interesting having them in there. The other things it kind of gets you focused. Their job after the third and fourth inning was to bring bottles of water to the umpire. And I give it, I go, "Here goes." And Eden was, "I can't go, I've got a dress on." Or, "I can't go, I have flip-flops on." They're just a good influence in the dugout. They kind of keep things real. I hope that the two of you made lifelong friendships. You are the best Pat girls I've ever had. Eden Cordero,
Before we make our speech, we wanted to give Lavelle a present for all the things that he's done for us. This is just a gift for him for everything he's given us. It's just a little payback.
No payback? Thank you.
I just wanted to start by saying that I'm extremely grateful for being in your class sophomore year. If it wasn't for you being in that class, I wouldn't be standing where I stand today. I started out by being snack girl sophomore year and eventually made my way into the dugout. Being in the dugout has to be my favorite thing of both my junior and senior year. I've learned a tremendous amount of things from being part of this team. One thing I learned was that even through the toughest times, a bond never breaks. The bond the boys share is so incredibly strong that it makes me happy seeing them enjoy their time in each other's company out on the field and as best friends. I've loved being at every game and watching all the boys play. Each and every game brought me memories and a lot of laughs to both me and Erica. I also wanted to thank Coach Goldstein for saving me from that ball, because if it wasn't for you, I definitely would have gotten hurt. I also wanted to thank Coach Pete for sharing all his food with me and always putting a smile on my face. Thank you, everyone, for letting Eric and I become a part of this team. I just want to thank Eden along with Daniel for being my best friends and my boyfriend, because without them I wouldn't have dared to go into the dugout and become a part of the best set of brothers I could ever ask for. I am very grateful to have met people like Kevin, Pete, and Coach Goldstein, and all the teammates a part of Beckman baseball. You're the best part of my entire high school experience, and I thank all of you for giving Eden and I an opportunity to get to know you. Also, I love all of you for having such amazing and supportive parents that I could get a chance to meet and grow close to. One last thing, Daniel, I know you had a very tough season, but I'm glad to have stuck by your side through it all, and that I can say that I'm very proud of you.
Those are two really great kids, and the gift is so appropriate with all the boxes of cereal that they've got me, because in my fourth period class, they go through cereal, a lot of cereal. The first senior that is going to come up and give a speech is one of my second basemen, Cameron Lewis. Cameron, come on. I have really enjoyed getting to know Cameron Lewis over the last 4 years. He began as a shy little kid, and he has grown into a very opinionated, smart, and reliable young man. He is a very dedicated baseball player that helped us in many, many ways this season. I'm very proud to be the coach of Cameron Lewis.
I would like to start off by thanking my parents. Even though I do a poor job of expressing my gratitude, I appreciate everything they do. From my dad coaching me all the way up until Little League, nurturing my love for baseball, or pushing me to work my hardest and not give up on my dreams. Or to my mom for putting everything down and driving me places, to helping me with anything I needed help on, or just being there if I needed it. I do a bad job of showing my appreciation, but I really do appreciate everything you do for me. To Coach Lavelle and the rest of the staff, I thank you for being the reason why my 4 years of high school were memorable. Without you in the baseball program, high school would not have been the same. In my opinion, you are the best coach any of us have ever had, not only because you love baseball and are so knowledgeable about it, but because you truly care about every single one of us. I will never forget my 4 years here, and for that, I thank you. I would like to thank my seniors for sticking it out to the end through thick and thin. You guys taught me how to work and play for something bigger than myself. You taught me how to be selfless and sacrifice my time or my at-bat for the team. I cannot be closer to any group besides the seniors, and I would do anything for any one of them if they ever asked. Thank you.
Very good, Cameron, very good. Our next senior is an outfielder, number 16, Evan Shin. I will always remember Evan for his smile. No matter the day, or the situation, or the task, Evan always did it with a smile on his face. He practiced, and he prepared, and he worked, and he helped us win baseball games. And he was a big part of the 2014 Pacific Coast League Championship. Evan Shin.
First of all, I'd like to thank all my coaches and Coach Lavelle. You guys have been a huge positive impact on me. Thank you for having faith in me as a player and a person, and being an inspirational coach both on and off the field. To my teammates, you guys were the brothers I never had. We've been on one hell of a journey, but from the first step of Intangible 28s to the last 12 by our signs in left field, there's no one I'd rather have standing beside me then, and no one I would rather have now. To my mom, I wish I wasn't superstitious. It takes a certain level of dedication and love to go to all the games, but it takes a whole nother level to respect my superstitions and not go at any of them. Although you couldn't watch me, I know that you never stopped caring. This is the one time I can thank you for signing me up for something without asking me first. Because of you that I had the greatest experience of my life. You are and always will be my number one fan. And to my dad. Remember that one time we fought in the car after that one game? I know you do because it happened a lot. Or that one time, I swear this is actually true, in a travel ball tournament, I hit a go-ahead triple, and I pointed at you and said, "Happy Father's Day." That's what baseball brought us. And I know you'll agree with me that I'm not a selfish person, but with you, I was. I didn't want you to get into coaching because, to be honest, I wanted you to myself. I didn't want you to point at my coach, or I didn't want you in the dugout as a coach because you had to, or lose the car rides from and to games, as weird as it may sound. Because as a coach, you had to be there, but you were there every single game out in left field, hoping to catch one of my balls as a dad. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me, and now that baseball won't be the same anymore, I wonder how our relationship will change. But all I know is that you'll be there for whatever I do, just as you've been for baseball. I am proud of everything that we have done together, and I'm proud to call you my dad.
This is awesome. I mean, this is when I sit here and Everybody goes, God, Coach, how do you do it? I mean, how easy is it to coach when you have kids like this? Next is the senior pitcher, Alex Brennis. You wore that bow tie, huh? I don't know if you really would. Alex really loves to pitch. He was challenged to become a pitcher only, and he took the challenge and did a remarkable job. And at times in his senior year, he was dominant. And he was always dominant in the biggest games, in the biggest situations. Pitcher number 23, Alex Brennis.
Okay, so first I would like to thank my teammates, especially the seniors that have been together the last 4 years. They're the reason baseball was so fun and why it was so hard to see it all in. I thank all those guys over there for giving me the best experience I could ask for, and the memories I'll remember forever. First coach I would like to thank is Ray Sykes for never having a problem driving to LA every weekend so that me and my brother could play together. And he was someone who really mentored me at such a young age to really love this game. Second coach is Coach Goldstein for giving me the opportunity this year to pitch, and Coach Lavelle as well for helping me and everyone else in the program find the fifth gear inside of them day in and day out. Next person is my dad. Thank you for being so understanding with the course schedule and understanding that baseball is the most important thing in my life, for coming down from SF to being the Banquet today. And last is my mom. I want to thank my mom for everything, whether it is coming straight to LA to Tustin every day to watch me play, and providing me and my brother with everything and anything we've ever needed in life, and teaching me that you don't need the most materialistic items in life to be happy. She's always been so supportive of my life with anything I choose to do, and I consider her and my Aunt Lizzie my number 1 or 2 fans when it came to baseball. So with that, I'm just going to wrap it up. Thank you to everyone who has ever had a huge impact in my life.
Next, senior shortstop, third baseman, Tyler Chung. Tyler Chung is an excellent, versatile baseball player. He has a tremendous amount of baseball skill, and he knows the game as well as anybody on the team. He does some things naturally, and when you watch him play, you can just feel a sense of calm and trust. Tyler Chung.
I'd like to start off by thanking my teammates that I've known most of you since Little League, and I'd like to also thank them for the fun 4 years of baseball, and I wish everyone the best of luck in college and your future endeavors, as well as those who are playing in college. And next, for the coaches, I'd like to thank all the coaches for a great season and a great time on varsity this year. And to Coach Lavelle, thank you for the 2 years of the varsity experience and the successful seasons. To Coach Goldstein, thank you for working with the pitchers for preparing them for any type of game situation. And Coach Pierre, thank you for working and bettering the outfielders' fundamentals. And Coach Vallenato, thank you for everything you've done for the team. And I would also like to thank the team managers for everything they've done to help us at practice and prep the field. And to my mom, I would just like to say thank you for supporting me and encouraging me through all that I've gone through. You're such a strong woman to support and do everything you do for our family. I honestly don't know how you do it. I also really appreciate that no matter how bad I did in the game, you are still somehow able to lift my spirits with encouragement. You are truly the best mom. I love you. And lastly, my brother who is not here, I'd just like to thank him for even though he was being dragged out to my baseball games, he put up with it. And although he didn't seem to mind, because all he would do was play video games or play with the younger siblings of my teammates. And lastly, to my dad, ever since I can remember, you have been there for me. Through thick and thin, you stood by my side. And through constructive criticism, I've always been able to better myself. I still remember you teaching me how to throw and play catch in the backyard. He coached me through Little League and helped me develop into a good young ball player. He never stopped coaching me from Little League to travel ball with the baseball academy Knuckleheads, which I will never forget. The best 4 years of great coaching and fun times to now preparing for college. All the way through high school, he supported me with everything, good or bad, whether it be getting onto a prestigious travel team that you would invest incredible amounts of time, or even pointing out little things that I could always improve on. I extremely appreciate all you have done for me. You taught me to love baseball and helped me fulfill my dream to play college baseball. Everything you have taught me in life this far has become and will be the roots of my success in becoming the man you're proud of. Love you.
Next is a senior pitcher outfielder, Daniel Grease. Daniel Grease is one of the best baseball players that I have ever coached. I don't think it is any surprise when I say that Daniel learned a lot this year. Daniel, I hope the one thing that you learned the most is how much you are loved by everybody in this room. We will always be here for you, and I will always remember you for your competitiveness and your positive attitude. Daniel Grease.
Over the 4 years, I've had a variety of people and families impact my life. In particular, the Hazards, Pearsons, and especially the Ganets. The Ganets were more than just a family to me. Both Pat and Trish provided a house, love, care, and took me as if I was a fourth son. You guys truly are a family that will forever be in my life, and I love you guys. Also, the Fisher family, starting with Terry. Thank you for all your love and support that you've had for Beckman baseball over these last 2 years. The mothers in this program adore you and all the help you've done for the certain players and parents. And Erica. Where do I begin? Aside from being an incredible girlfriend, you were the biggest inspirer in my life. You believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. I wouldn't be the baseball player I am today if it wasn't for you. Thank you so much, and I hope somewhere along the road I can repay you for what you did for me. Last but not least, my mom. Unfortunately, she's not here today, but she's been amazing. She really wasn't involved in high school sports until my junior year. She also told me that nothing made her feel more alive than watching me on the mound. She saw the passion and drive I had and it was all to gain acceptance from her. Being a single mom, she did everything to make sure playing baseball was always an option. I've taken my mom for granted in the past, but she will be the fire I have as I continue down the road to play college baseball. So thank you, Mom. I truly hope I made you proud. To the coaches, Coach Maldonado, we truly really didn't see the work you put in for us, whether it was recording opponents, sparking up the dugout, or just being a cluster in general. Thanks, Alex. I honestly can say you will never be forgotten. Pierre, thank you for every single person you made fun of over the 3 years of my varsity career. Watching you talk about the pitchers and kill them off individually was the greatest thing. You coached my brother and cousins, and I'm glad I could call you one of my coaches too. Goldstein. This was one of the best staffs in Beckman history. What's strange is we didn't have a James Caprillion or anything like that. We had a group of individuals that knew their jobs and did exactly what they had to do. Hard work paid off, and the things you taught me as a player will forever be carried with me as long as I step on the mountain, so thank you. And now Lavelle. First off, thank you for pulling me and 6 other freshmen up my freshman year to be a part of the CIF winning team. They sparked a fire in me that made me want to be successful, and as well as my teammates. Your titles and individual awards speak for themselves of how great of a coach you are. The home you created for us on that baseball field will forever be a part of my heart, and so will this program, all because of you. Now the team. Man, I don't know where to begin. I met most of the guys I tested in the Eastern Little League where the major Yankees were the team to beat. Paige and Bonkos, remember that? Eventually, those guys, as well as others, became brothers that I will cherish for the rest of my life. 4 years, guys. We achieved things that no other class will ever achieve. We were the biggest cluster group of people to be around, yet when we stepped on the baseball mound, it was time to ball out. Every team dinner, the senior run, and every single intangible we ever ran was the best part of my short years of life. Every blood, sweat, and tear was all worth it. There isn't a part of my heart that doesn't love every single one of you. Thank you for a memorable 4 years. 2XXXX8 forever and always. Love you guys.
Next is left-handed pitcher, Nick Sides. Nick Sides is a very interesting young man. Have you ever sat down and had a one-on-one conversation with Nick Sides? If you haven't, you should, because you will be blown away at his intelligence and straightforwardness. The only thing not straightforward about Nick is his curveball. Nick, you will be a success in any endeavor that you choose. Thank you.
Okay, first I'd like to thank my parents and my little sister for never giving up on me. Sophie, you have been guiding me back on the right path, helping raise you and having you around has always inspired me to be a better person. To Lavelle, thank you for saving my baseball career and keeping me on the team after sophomore year. That phone call was probably the hardest phone call I ever have to make in my life. Coach Goldstein takes a special breed of man to take care of a special group of guys, POs. I'll never forget the practice where Tal and I were in left field, and Tal asked me why are POs such class, and then we look over to the left field foul pole and Goldstein's riding his phone over slapping his ass. To the team, thank you for always pushing me to work hard and trying to keep up with the rest of you. The sacrifices we had to go through this year, all the injuries, we fought through as a group, and I know I can always rely on you guys if I ever need anything. Thank you.
Next is the right-handed pitcher, number 12, Justin Pearson. Let me name some things that some awards Justin got this year. Justin was named to the All-Pacific Coast League team this season. Justin will pitch in the Ryan Lemon Senior Classic next Saturday at Ryan Lemon Stadium. And Justin Pearson is another winner of the 2014 James Caprillion Pitcher of the Year Award. We kind of decided that we're going to do this, Justin. You're going to have to do something a little bit different. I want to call Adam Lamar back up here. Adam, Coach Goldstein has a little something to say about the two of you, as you're both winners of the James Caprillion Pitcher of the Year Award. And I just want to speak about that award a little bit. For those of you who don't know, James Caprillion pitched here at Beckman in 2009, 10, 11, and 12. He's currently plays at UCLA. He was UCLA's Friday night. Started this last season. He was my best pitcher in 2010, 2011, 2012. He was just named to the United States of America Collegiate National Team. In a couple weeks, he's going to go and play for Team USA. And when he graduated in 2012, we decided to give the Named Pitcher of the Year award after James. And I've said this before because I've spoken a lot about James over the course of his career here with newspaper guys. And, James was 33-3 in his Beckman career. In the 3 games that he quote-unquote lost, he gave up 1 run, and 2 runs. So technically, James never lost a game. And that was what everybody saw. Everybody came and watched him pitch, and they were blown away by James and his ability and his right arm. And what they didn't see is the hard work that James put into it. And the reason he was so good was because of the way that he prepared. And these 2 young men, as kind of the leaders of our pitching staff, exemplified all of that. They both worked incredibly hard, Justin especially as a senior. And as Pat said earlier, James.
And that was to have a little inside award for some of the pitchers that deserve it. Last year I gave a redhead kid a bag of salad. If anybody knows Dylan Save Line, there was a reason behind that, and it's kind of an inside joke. This year, I have 2 awards that I would like to predominantly give. The first one, since he's a senior, is going to go to Justin Pearson. And the backstory behind this award, this is the Big Bird Spotlight Award. Last year at our Beckman, one of the camps, some of the kids came up and they were telling me how much fun they had, and I asked them who they were working with, and they said Big Bird. And I said, could you point out Big Bird, please? And they pointed to Justin. So enthusiastically, he kind of embraced that nickname a little bit. And so we have the Big Bird Spotlight Award for Justin. And along with that comes his own birdseed. Adam Lamar, this year, it's not that bad. We talked a lot. When I was talking with the staff, I talked to Adam, and I would look at him, man to man in the eyes, you know. And Adam just struck me as this just really like young fawn. And I don't know what it was, but the nickname stuck. So Adam was Fawn all year, and it kind of drove him a little bit. I don't think he liked it very much, but he's growing his horns. He's going to become a buck. So Adam is the recipient of this year's Fawn Award. Congratulations. And real quick, we came with a little research. I had to figure out what you feed a fawn, and it was almonds and greens. So this is for Adam.
Citrus, man. Just gotta let them have their fun. So Justin is a study in success. The difference between Justin Pearson in his first 3 years here and Justin Pearson this last year was that his confidence in himself this year was real. He believed in himself, and we believed in him. He's a pitcher with great work ethic, and he is going places. Justin Pearson.
Before I get started, I just want to say there are a lot of people that didn't get into my letter, and you're not special. It's just, or you're not special. It's just I did this about an hour before this. So. I remember like it was yesterday, walking into the dugout for the freshman baseball camp, well aware of the reputation Coach Lavelle and the program had earned before our time here. So I'm just gonna go with the coaches. Pierre, I'll never forget the countless talks we had, not only during the spare time of practice, but during practice and before pregame. So I just want to say that you have a special place in my heart. I'll never forget you. And Goldstein, over last summer, I'll always remember you telling me about how I lacked something to drive me, like a specific, something to motivate me. And I found that factor in the fall, and with your and Coach Lavelle's wisdom, I made it through it and performed to my best ability. Thank you. And Coach Lavelle, every practice, you prepared us with every drill and every practice for one significant goal we set out for in August. You're a man of many wonders on the field, and I can't thank you enough for the wisdom you blessed me with on the baseball field. Coach Maldonado, you always had a pencil for me last year, across the way in math when I didn't have one. And during practice, you always kept the energy at a good pace. And without you, we wouldn't have been able to survive. Lastly, to my mother, where do I start? Since my childhood, I had the privilege of learning America's pastime with a father playing catch in the backyard, just like in the movies. And you did everything in your power to ensure that you were constantly supporting me at every single game. I remember you would go out and hit ground balls to me at Tustin Eastern Little League. And along with my grandparents, you guys are the best support I could ever have. You played the role of both mom and dad, not allowing the lonely, only child to get out of control. You worked multiple jobs to provide me with all the proper necessities that are crucial for my future success. Her love and care has motivated me to be a better person every day, through thick and thin. And for that, I can't even put into words my entire thanks and compassion I have for you, Mom. I love you. Thank you.
Next is another pitcher, right-handed pitcher, Grant Geyer. Few kids love the game of baseball like Grant Geyer does. He loves everything about it, and if you watched him pitch this year, you saw his love of pitching shine through. In our 11-inning marathon against San Juan Hills, Grant basically dominated the game. Grant, there was never a doubt this year when you took the mound. Grant Geyer. Winner of another winner of the 2014 Patriot Award.
Okay, start with my parents. Thank you for everything you've done. For me, you've brought gear for me that I probably didn't need but really wanted. You've driven me to practice after practice. You've always showed me and tried to show me the positive side of a bad game, and so much more. You've supported me in every goal I've wanted to accomplish in baseball. I'm very thankful. And my mom, although I may not show it, I'm very thankful that you're the balance between the schoolwork and baseball, although my is baseball usually. You taught me that I need to put equal amounts of effort into both. I love you both so much. I'm really spoiled because of you guys, and sometimes I take it for granted, but I really know you guys are the best, and I'm thankful. To Coach Lavelle, I've never met a coach that could get a team more focused on a plan than you. You motivate us, challenge us, and when we buy in, no one can stop us. I'm going to miss playing under you as a coach. Your love for the field and the game of baseball is contagious, and after 4 years, I've never loved the game more. To Coach Goldstein, thank you for being another one of the POs. You said it best when you told us that POs are really a different breed of baseball player. And if you look at the pitching staff, we really are kind of different. I didn't really write anything for the teammates. I just didn't really know what to say, but like all you guys, like I'm gonna miss you guys. It's really weird not playing with you guys because I've played with you guys since Little League, and I've played with Dallas since my first year playing baseball. Yeah. That's it.
Next is a outfielder, Eric Palmquist. I'm so proud of Eric Palmquist. He worked his tail off all of last summer and all of last winter and into the spring. And then just 5 games into the season, as our full-time DH, he tore up his shoulder. We rebounded as a team, but I can admit now, Eric, that we missed you. You were a force, and it's unfair what happened to you. But to Eric's credit, he never let his frustration show, and I think that is because he didn't want to be a negative distraction to his teammates. Eric Palmquist is a winner. Thank you.
Okay, so first off, I'd like to thank the coaches. To all of you guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for what you've allowed me to do. Coach Lavelle, I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity this year, even though my injury prevented me from playing. Coach P and Coach Maldo, I'm going to miss you guys in the outfield every day, always cracking jokes and making fun of people. Coach Olsen and Coach Phillips, thank you for always giving me little tips and tricks to help me with my swing. Moving on to my parents, I appreciate everything you've ever done for me, and I might not show it, but I truly love you guys, and I appreciate it all. To my dad, you've been my biggest supporter in my baseball career. You've been my coach since T-ball and up through majors and through travel ball. I can remember the times when we would go to the pool, Harry and El Dorado, and just play catch. From all the car rides to and from our games, I'll always remember those. Those were fun. I couldn't be any luckier to have a dad as my coach and to spend so much time with you on the field and off the field. I won't forget all the motivational things you've told me in the car, and you've never yelled at me or given me any crap, and I respect that. I won't forget giving you all the high fives at first base every time I got on and looking at you and telling me good job. To my mom, you tried your best to make it to all of my games, but I know that because you're busy, I understand that, and that you couldn't always make it. Every time you did come, though, I did hear you and I did see you, even though you might not think it, because I tried to avoid looking at you. Just seeing you there and always hearing you cheering me on gave me all the more confidence in my bats, and I am the person today because of you. I can look to you for anything in my life, and I look to you as my role model, and I hope I turn out to be at least half the person you are. To all my teammates, I love each and every one of you guys. I wouldn't have wanted to spend the past 4 years of my life without all of you. Even to all the underclassmen that I was lucky enough to be around, I love each and every one of you guys. Keep up the hard work. To my seniors, I will never forget the memories we have made together, even the memories I have from Little League with Daniel and Paige and almost all the entire senior class. I will never forget those. As we move into the real world next year, I can only wish each and every one of my teammates the best of luck, and I love you guys forever.
Shane Johnson. Shane Johnson is a dedicated athlete. Shane Johnson is unselfish. Shane Johnson believes in himself. He's constantly working to make himself better, and he pushes teammates to do the exact same thing. I don't think there is anything that Shane thinks he cannot do, and that attitude will take you far in life. Shane Johnson.
First, my parents. Dad, you were the one that got me started in this journey in the first place. Coaching Little League and then always supporting me. When I was older without you, I don't know where I would be. You taught me everything I know. Mom, you were always there for me even when things weren't going too well. Telling me to always visualize and good things will happen. Mom, Dad, I don't know how to express how much I love you, but I want you to know I love you very much. Now I'd like to thank Coach Ward, He was my JV coach last year, and Coach Ward was one of the best coaches I've ever had. Never gave up on me, and I thank him very much for that. Coach Lavelle, you made the decision to put my name on a list that made the last 4 years of my life the best I've ever had. Thank you very much for that. Thinking back on the experiences with my teammates, like Mom trying to cook hot dogs in the cages, Hazard always being a spaz, or all of my teammates making fun of my laugh. You are like my second family. I will never forget the last 4 years. They've been the greatest of my life, and I thank you guys very much for that.
Chandler Carlano. Chandler Carlano is Mr. Steady. He was my first option as a bench runner this season, and he was always ready to go. Chandler, the greatest thing I can say about you is that you are yourself. You are universally loved by your teammates and respected by all the underclassmen in the program because of the way that you treat others. Chandler Carlano.
I didn't imagine like this, like with my poster back here, so it's sort of weird. Like, big face, sort of. So, okay, I'll try to go here. So I'd like to thank my dad first. First off, like, he always tries to go to all my games, and he'd always like try to clear work to go to my games, and I really appreciate that. And I enjoy our father's son time. And even though that time sort of like coming to an end because of college and all that stuff, I want to spend more time all that stuff, and I respect them a lot. To my mom, thank you for doing like everything and anything that I would ask you to do. Like if it's like just bringing my jersey or pants or bringing a lunch to the game, I always really appreciate it. And I remember that one time when I put a hole in the wall because I was swinging the bat in the house, and I don't know why I was doing that, but you never screamed at me or anything, so that was always nice. And I'd like to thank the coaches and all the coaching staff for really just pushing us and giving us a good drive that we take not from we can use on the baseball field, but also use in real life, college, post-college, and whatever we do, we can always use that drive that he taught us. And I'd like to thank my teammates for just making every day fun. Like I really enjoyed practices, even though like people say like practices they're tiring and stuff. I enjoyed all that sweat and drive that all of them had. They created a great atmosphere for people to enjoy baseball and all the parents. And some of my best high school memories come from the seniors, the juniors, and all the other baseball players. And I really just appreciate that. And that's it.
Next is Dallas Day. Dallas Day will be playing the Ryan Lemon Senior All-Star Classic next Saturday night at Ryan Lemon Stadium at 7 o'clock, I believe. Dallas Day was named to the first team All-Pacific Coast League. And Dallas Day is our 2014 most valuable player. Dallas was an offensive machine. If you check your program that you got when you came here tonight, you will see that he is one of the all-time greats in Beckman baseball history. When scouts and colleges grade out baseball players, they start by listing all the things that a player can do. Let me tell you what I think Dallas Day can do. Dallas can run, Dallas can throw, Dallas can hit, Dallas can hit for power, Dallas can play defense, and Dallas is incredibly smart. and Dallas is a great teammate. That's it. What an unbelievable season you had, Dallas.
I'd like to talk about my teammates. This year we met, and this is good, so we can hear me. We met in Lavelle's room as a senior class, and we set out our goals this year. And everybody in that room wanted to win. One put a banner up, wanted to win league. Last year was just, we didn't want that to happen again. And we did it, and that's all I care about now, and I'm glad that we got to do that. On to my coaches, I'd like to thank Coach Lavelle for driving our senior class to do what we did in the off-season when nobody was watching and running intangible 28s and all that, and setting the bar for those guys to come up and try and break it, and I don't think they'll be able to, just those guys over there in the senior class. And Coach Goldstein, I want to thank you for helping me learn as a baseball player. When we were talking about pitching and what to do in certain situations and who to go with, and I want to thank you for that, because not many people have the ability to teach a kid what to learn, but not many coaches are smart enough to do that. On to my dad, you have been there for me my whole baseball career. You were my coach from T-ball Yankees all the way up through majors when we were the Cubs. You woke me up every Sunday morning to drive me to hitting lessons, and I hope your investment in that, you're getting a good return. On to my mom, you bent over backwards for me, and I still remember when you flew to Tennessee for a baseball tournament, and it got rained out, and we didn't play a single game. And then you got us an earlier flight back, and you flew all the way back to Tustin, and I didn't make my Little League game, so we went through all that hassle for really nothing at all. And I just want to say thank you for everything you've done, for making sure my uniform's washed and all that, and just for bending over backwards. Thank you, Mom.
I'm done. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify when I spoke there about Dallas. You know, if you've ever given a speech before, sometimes when I was, like yesterday when I was sitting at my keyboard writing this, it's like everything's clear. What I was trying to say is that everything you can possibly do on a baseball field or ask a player to do, Dallas can do. I wasn't saying that that's all you're worth, Dallas, is that. I was saying you do it all. Next is senior Matt Page. So next to every kid here, Matt, I have I have stuff that I'm reading, and next to your name, it just says, "Tell the Matt Page story." So I'll tell you the Matt Page story. First of all, Matt had a great year on the mound for us. He was a winning pitcher against Estancia, which was a very big game for me personally. And I'll never forget that, Matt. But Matt is just an interesting young man. When we meet in my classroom in January and February, I meet with all the seniors, and it's a tradition I started, just the seniors, and we have dinner together. And all the seniors get a chance, and they just tell their life stories to their fellow senior classmates, and we learn about each other. And some things are said in there that never leave that room, and it just brings the senior class closer together. And when Matt spoke, I'm going to kind of break the rules here a little bit, because I'm going to share with people one of the things you said, Matt. You got up there, and I don't even know if you remember this, but you got in the chair and you said, "Hello, my name's Matt Page, and I can promise you that this season I will do two things that are incredibly stupid and make no sense whatsoever." And that was what you promised your senior classmates. And Matt, you only did one. I can only remember one thing you did this year that didn't make a lot of sense. And so I'm really scared to hand you the microphone right now, because I don't know if you were saving it for this very moment right here. I hope not. Matt Page.
Great introduction. Over the past 4 years, Beckman baseball has made a substantial impact on my life. I'd like to thank my mother and my grandparents for allowing me to enjoy this memorable experience. Grandma and Grandpa, thank you for attending every game. It means a lot to know I have fans for me in the crowd. Grandma, you always kept me up to date with the Angels and if they'd made the playoffs or not after I lost hope in their chances. Every Monday morning you cooked me eggs, omelet, and put up with my BS, grumpiness in the morning. I love you for that. Grandpa, if there's one example of a man in my life, it's you. You've served our country, earned your education, put up with my mother longer than I have, and been able to provide for our family well into your retirement. Your words of wisdom will always be with me as I embark on my journey in life. Mom, thank you for staying and putting up with me. I know I can be a handful at times, but that never prevented you from doing your job. Since I can remember, you have always kept me happy with a smile on my face. I still remember the times that you would take me to the sports park and we would play catch. And I remember the time sophomore year when you bought a bunch of ping pong balls and a stupid little rod and helped me focus on watching the ball, and even though I became a PO. I never doubted your love, and I hope you never have to doubt that I love you dearly. To my coaches, thank you, Lavelle, for trusting me in your 150th win. I knew I could do that for you. Coach Goldstein, you've taught me so much this year and last year. Thank you for helping me improve my game. Coach P, you always made practice and games, I don't even really know how to say it, to be honest, but you always made it a good time. You always made me know how to laugh. And Coach Baldo, you always seem to know what to say, and we always laughed at it. To my teammates, I know we shared many laughs and many experiences that we will take on in the rest of our lives, and hopefully 10 to 20 years from now, we'll see each other and we'll have better stories to tell each other. Thank you.
Next is second baseman Chase Bartholomew. Chase will be playing in the Ryan Lemon Senior All-Star Classic next Saturday night at Ryan Lemon Stadium. And in case anybody doesn't know what that is, next Saturday night, basically the Pacific Coast League team, a group of guys from our league, we play the Freeway League in just a 7-inning fun game. And we have some guys, I told you, who's playing in that. Chase will be playing that next Saturday night. And Chase has 2 other awards. Chase was our 2014 Most Valuable Player with Dallas State. And Chase was also voted by the league coaches as our 2014 Pacific Coast League Most Valuable Player. Chase Bartholomew was a good little player his freshman and sophomore seasons. Everyone saw it. Everyone would agree that he was a good little player. As a junior, he had a good year by anyone's standards except his own. Somewhere last summer, Chase started to believe that he was as good as I kept telling him that he was. If I am going to thank Chase for anything, I want to thank you, Chase, for believing in me. You trusted me, and you had such an incredible senior season that you got recognized and awarded by all the other coaches in the league. Now, everyone knows what an incredible baseball player you are, including yourself. I take pride in saying that I've known it all along.
Well, first off, I just want to say it's been a great season, and I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else.
I'm going to miss all the times hitting with you guys in the cages, winning league, and seeing Ella out of breath after every warm-up jog. Next, I want to thank all the coaches for the last 4 years. Beckman definitely wouldn't have been the same without you guys. Coach P, DP, Maldo, and Goldstein. You guys have all helped me in some sort of way, and I appreciate all that you've done. Next, I really want to thank Coach Lavelle for everything he's done for me. From calling me up freshman year to be a part of the CIF playoffs, that really showed me what a true team is. And helping me out with college, I understand how much of a drag that can be. And all the time spent in the cages and on the field to help me out. I wouldn't be the player I am today without you. I wouldn't have been able to accomplish any of what happened this year without the preparation and time that you put in to help me. Thank you so much. You're the greatest coach in America. Next, I want to thank my brother for being a great role model and always keeping me outside to play, no matter what sport it was. And also my dad for getting me into baseball at such a young age, which changed my life forever. This game means everything to me, and you were the one that coached me throughout my whole career. You took time from work to help me out from Little League games, from my travel ball games and practices, all those times waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to drive to the tournaments. I didn't really tell you thank you then, but without a doubt you helped me become a ball player and the man I am today. Thank you, Dad. Finally, I want to thank my mom, who has always been cheering for me ever since I played many sports. She has always been there for me, whether it's been as a team mom or coming through with a forgotten piece of equipment, which happened this year, sadly, when at uni, when I forgot my glove, but she came through and brought it to me before the game started. Thanks, Mom. You always come through. I could always hear you in the stands cheering louder than anyone else. I can say now that it feels really good knowing that someone's out there just cheering for me. I'm so happy to call you my mom. Thank you. In conclusion, I just want to say good luck to the future of Beckman baseball. I know you continue to dominate and get another PCL banner. Thank you.
Next, senior Brennan Gannay. Brennan Gannay is one of our winners of the 2014 Patriot Award. This last summer saw a lot of change in Brennan Gannay. It seems like he finally flipped the switch and became as dedicated as his teammates needed him to be. He grew into a leader last fall when he coached the lowly Jackrabbits to a 3-18 record. But you never stop trying, Brennan, and you never stop caring. And I'll never forget that day in the dugout, about an hour after a meaningless, relatively meaningless fall ball game where the Jackrabbits lost, and you had your head in your hands, and I just went up to you and said, Jesus, Brennan, it's okay. And you looked up to me, and you almost had tears in your eyes. I'm going off the sheets here. And you said to me, you said, Coach, you have to make me a promise. And I said, well, what? What promise? And you said, you have to promise me that we will never lose a game this spring. And I don't know, we obviously couldn't keep that promise, Brennan, but I learned right then and there in November how much you cared about it. I believe in you, Brennan, and I don't think that your baseball career is over. If you guys haven't seen Brennan's leg up here, our last regular season game of the year, talk to Brennan. I'm sure he hasn't got tired of telling the story of what happened to your leg yet. So everybody, please, at the end of the banquet, come ask Brennan to tell you the story. He's not sick of it yet. Brennan Gannay.
It's amazing how fast time goes by. You don't even realize how fast until you're standing up here and giving your senior speech at the end of your Beckman career. I can remember T-ball and how your goal was to get the ball every play no matter where you were on the field. I remember travel baseball when Daniel was shockingly caught for curfew twice. The memories I've created over the years will be forever cherished, especially the memories I've created with these guys. I'm always going to remember everything we did this year, and these memories will be the best ones I've had. I love you guys. You're my family away from home, and it's going to be tough to play against and not with you guys next year. To the coaches, this season would not have been as great without a group like you. To Lavelle, you're the best coach I've ever had, and I am the baseball player I am today because of you. You taught me the difference between being a baseball player and being a kid who plays baseball. You have a fire and a love for the game that is unmatched. And you put that love into your players, your fellow coaches, and your practices. Every kid who's ever had you as their coach, if they don't realize it now, will look back and think what a privilege it was to play under such a unique person. It's going to be tough not playing under you next year, but every practice and every game I play will be to make you proud. To my grandparents, thank you for always coming to my games and even apologizing when you couldn't make one. It doesn't seem like it all the time, but it meant a lot looking up and seeing you two behind home plate. And finally, to my parents, I love you guys so much, even though it may not come off that way. Having you guys at all my games really means a lot to me. Mom, thanks for always watching my baseball gear after games, even when I forgot to tell you, for handing out rally pops in the late innings. There are a lot of guys at that table who seem to like you, and none of them will love you as much as me. Dad, thanks for all the advice you've given me about baseball. Believe it or not, I do listen to you sometimes and use things you've taught me. Every game I play, I hope to make you proud. Not playing for Beckman next year is going to be tough, but knowing that my two biggest fans will be following me wherever I play, it makes it a lot easier. Thank you.
Next is my shortstop, Michael Hughes. Michael Fuchs was named to the Pacific Coast League team. He will be playing in the Ryan Lemon Senior All-Star Classic next Saturday night, and he is our 2014 most offensive player, most valuable offensive player. I wish that I could take more credit for the shortstop that is Michael Hughes. I was smart enough to see that he knew what he was doing, so I just got out of his way. I can't tell you, Michael, how many times over the past 2 years when in the middle of a game you would make a play and I would just look at Coach Goldstein and say, God, he's good. You have the ability, sorry, I break down when I talk about middle infielders. You have the ability to make the tough play look routine, and at the plate, you dealt with adversity and ups and downs, but you remained consistent and true to who you are as a hitter. And this last season, you were a force. Michael Hughes.
All right, first off, I'd like to thank my dad. We could not make it today, for always being there for me and supporting me throughout my whole life. He has made me into the baseball player I am today. Not only is he there for me on the field, but he also helps me become a better person and teaches me many valuable life lessons. I wouldn't be the person I am today without my dad. Love you, Dad. Thank you, Coach Pierre, Coach Goldstein, Coach Phillips, and Coach Maldonado for being great assistant coaches. Thank you, Coach Lavelle, for giving me an opportunity to play and be a part of Beckman baseball. You're the best coach I've played for. You have also taught me how to play for something bigger than myself. I'm thankful to have had a coach like you. I am really going to miss you. And for my teammates, I'd like to thank my teammates who I don't just see as my teammates, but as my brothers. Without them, my high school experience would not have been the same. I'm thankful to have met them, but even more grateful to play on the same field as them.
I'm going to miss every single one of them, and I know that they'll do great things. It was a hell of a ride, and I wouldn't want to do it with anyone else. I love you guys.
Okay, next is center fielder Jake Hazard. How many of you guys know that for every single year of my career here at Beckman, on my lineup card I have written the name Hazard. Every single year, going back to 2008, I wrote the name Hazard. And I just thought of that right now. That's not even on my sheet here, Jake. I just remember it right now. And I saw your brother this morning, and wow, I don't know how to go on without writing that name. Jake Hazard will be playing tomorrow night. I'm encouraging all of you guys to go out tomorrow night. He's playing in the Orange County North-South, the Lions, Orange County North versus South game at Glover Stadium at 7 o'clock, I believe, Jake, right? We've had many great players playing that game in the past. I nominated Jake for that game, and thank God that coaches finally got it right and they selected him to play in that game. He'll also be playing next Saturday night at Ryan Lemon Stadium in the Pacific Coast League versus Freeway League game. Jake Hazard's named our All-League team, and he's our 2014 Most Valuable Offensive Player. Jake Hazard is one of the all-time great Patriots. Not too many people know how much Jake was hurting this last season and how much pain he played through. It takes courage to do that, to play through pain. But I think the most courageous thing that Jake ever did was come to me and unselfishly take himself out of the lineup and give himself 10 days to heal. He met with me and said, "Coach, I don't want to hurt the team, and I need to take 10 days off." That took a lot of guts, Jake, and it was the right thing for you to do. It showed me how you put your team first, and I really admire you for that. I wish you could win every single award that there is to win, Jake, because you deserve it. Keep playing like you have something to prove. Keep playing for what you deserve, Jake, because I truly believe that you deserve it all. And in your and your brother's honor, for the next 4 years, nobody will wear the number 4. I'm not allowed to retire jerseys. I don't know why, but I've been told I'm not allowed to do it. But I could just not hand out the number 4 for the next 4 years. Jake Hazard.
While my career here at Beckman didn't end the way we all hoped it, playing and winning our CIF championship, I was lucky to be brought up with the team that did it in 2011. On top of that, I got to be there with my role model, my brother Justin. He has been an inspiration that has helped me grow into a better baseball player and person. I wouldn't be where I am today without his advice, coaching, love, and support. And I'm very proud for what he's accomplished and still is accomplishing. I would also like to thank the entire coaching staff for all the time they have put in and all the knowledge they have shared. Also, thank you to Coach Goldstein for spending time with me on the weekends and throwing with me and BP too. And also want to thank Coach Pierre, just all the great time we had in the outfield. Like, you make fun of Tao, it's really funny. And also Coach Lavelle, just everything, just literally everything. I want to be where I am today without you. You're just one of the best.
best coaches there is out there in the world. Just made me a great person. Thank you, Coach. Coach Maldonado. Thanks for some of the best, funny memories. And you did your best you can do to help us out too. I won't ever forget when you were hitting fungos to the infielders and you let go of the bat and it hit Greg in the arm. Greg's reaction was really funny. To my parents, the first thing that I would like to tell you guys is that I love you. And I wouldn't be the person that I am today without having you guys in my life. You're my #1 fans, and I thank you guys for putting the effort to come to watch me play all these years and taking me wherever I needed to go to make myself a better player. Most importantly, thank you for your love and support. I am lucky to have you both in my life. Mima and Joe, I want to thank you guys for coming to every game that you could this year and throughout my career. Grandpa Joe, thank you for all the advice that you have given me over these years because it has helped me become a better person. Mima, thank you for loving me with all your heart and always being there for me. Next, Uncle Chris and CJ. Thank you for always being there to listen to me and come to my games every chance you could. I appreciate and love you both like brothers. To my parents, grandparents, brothers, and uncles, I know I don't tell you guys this enough, but I love you all so much. Thank you.
Okay, this is the last one. Our last senior is outfielder Brandon Gertz. Brandon Gertz is my guy. He is scrappy, he is gritty, he is a tough competitor, and he will do whatever his teammates or myself ask him to do. He has always believed in himself, and his teammates have always trusted him in any situation, against any pitcher, in any game. Last year as a junior, I said at the Banquet that he quietly, single-handedly won us 4 baseball games by himself. Brandon and I will always remember that, but what I will remember more is your daily attitude and your steady consistency. You are one of my all-time favorite players. And you are a winner of the 2014 Patriot Award. How many of these have you won?
I think that's my second.
Okay. Well, if there is ever anybody, Brandon, who embodies what the Patriot Award is, it's you. Never, ever, ever, ever change, Brandon, because you are a wonderful human being. Brandon Gertz.
All right. I'd like to start off thanking my teammates. I love you guys. I love everyone. I've grown up with pretty much the whole team. Back in first grade, I even had a class with Cameron Lewis, with Shig Finney's first grade class. I even played like coach pitch with Dallas, Palmquist, and Bob Day was our coach. So it's been a long road with all of us together, and I'm just so thankful for it all. And you guys will always be my closest friends. All right. To the coaches, Coach Maldonado, Coach Goldstein, Coach Beer, I really respect you, and I like your upbeat attitude, and you always have the ability to make everything fun, especially in the outfield with outfield drills. Just really enjoy being around you. To Coach Lavelle, you have truly made my baseball experience memorable. I remember last year we would always go to Cal State Fullerton games together with some of the other players on the team. And I just never met a coach that's so personal to his players. And over these past 4 years, we have been through a lot, and I wouldn't have rather done it with anyone else. Thanks, Coach, and I love all that you do for Beckman baseball. All right, to my parents. You guys have always shown up to my games no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's in a home game or a road game, you guys are always there, ever since I was young. To my mom, you have always been there for me, even after a bad game or a loss, which I know it's been pretty ugly, but thank you for always being there for me. You have helped me in so many ways, I don't even know where to start. I know that I don't always say this enough, but I love you, Mom, and I appreciate all the things that you do for me. I'm very proud to call you my mother. To my dad, I can remember the times growing up when we would play catch outside with me, you, and Tyler. You played such a big role in my life coaching me throughout my Little League years. You taught me a lot about the game, but even more about life. You have taught me to never give up, no matter how hard time gets. You're my biggest role model, and when I get older, I want to be just like you, Dad. Thank you.
Don't go down. Okay, guys, this was supposed to be a gift to you earlier. We kind of screwed it up. But this small thing over here is what we practice for year-round. It's why you have to pick your son up at 6:30 on a Tuesday night in November from the weight room. This sign that goes on our outfield fence. I want to start a new tradition. I want to get a Sharpie. I want to let the senior class sign the back of that. And only us, only we will know that's on there. So, coaches, can you hold that up and show these guys what they earned? That sign was made for, we only made that sign for $300, but it means the world to these kids right here. It's something that will be on our outfield fence forever. And when I'm old and gray, I'm still coaching here and hobbling around, and I get to coach your kids, I can come back and say, that's my team, son. I think that's it. Oh, wait, you guys have something to do? Something to get? Oh, okay.
For you guys that don't know, Lavelle is more than just a head coach. Like, if you go to Irvine, Woodbridge, Northwood, like all the leagues in our whatever, like you'll see, like they're your standard high school baseball coach, but when you come to our field, you guys don't see the work that Lavelle actually puts in for us. He's created a home that has the most loving baseball players, that has the most beautiful baseball field in Orange County, and that just, it's a home. Like you could call it a baseball field, but we call it our home. So, Coach, just thank you for being a believer in us, a supporter of us, and a friend for us. So, with the help of our lovely handyman, Coach Phillips, we got you a gift, and thank you so much for everything.
You guys got me bubble wrap? I'm kidding. Oh, wow. Coach Phillips made this?
Yeah.
I can't lift it. So there it is. That's pretty cool. I can use this now to like weigh down the tarps out on the field, like try to sprinklers.
Or scare away the birds.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Pat, is there anything else?
Yeah.
A picture of the seniors?
These guys with that. Yeah.
Okay, but for everybody else?
All varsity with the PCL sign with you, and then just
Okay, so at this point, this is why we have you guys dressed up. Varsity guys and seniors, stick around. To everybody else here, hopefully you learned a little bit something tonight. You learned about how much this means to your son. It's a big part of their life, and treasure every single minute of it. Thank you guys all for coming. And one more final round of applause to the 2014 Pacific Coast Champions.